In lesson 12.6, we're learning about circular functions. It's important that you recall from a previous lesson that cosine is the x and sine is the y. Now, you might also recall that we divided both by the radius, but when it's a unit circle, the radius is 1, so we don't have to divide by the radius. Okay, for numbers 1 and 2, we need to find cosine theta and sine theta. So these first two are going to be really easy. Cosine theta is the x-coordinate, and sine theta is the y-coordinate. Same thing on number 2. So cosine is 0, and sine theta is -1. Alright, for the rest of these, you're going to need to know the unit circle. So I'm going to make a mini unit circle. I know that 240 degrees is in quadrant 3. So if you go to 180, then you go 60 more, should be around here. So that coordinate has a smaller x-coordinate than a y-coordinate. You need to remember that 1/2 is less than rad 3 over 2. So looking at that point, I know the x distance is shorter, so it's 1/2, and in quadrant 3, x is negative. The y distance is the bigger number, and it's also negative in quadrant 3. Okay, for number 4, 315 degrees is halfway between 270 and 360. Anytime you're in the middle, the coordinates are both rad 2 over 2. Cosine theta, cosine is the x, so that's positive radical 2 over 2. In quadrant 4, sine is negative, so negative rad 2 over 2. Alright, next we're going to figure out the period of a function. The period is the horizontal length that it takes for the pattern to just start to repeat itself. So looking at number 5. So the pattern looks like this. And then once you get here, it starts over again. So then it'll be another one of these. So that pattern just continues over and over. So we need to figure out what is the horizontal length of this pattern. Well, it looks like it's halfway between, it starts at 0, and then it's halfway between 2 pi and 3 pi. So that is 2.5 pi, or 5 pi over 2. So the period for this is 5 pi over 2. Okay, for number 6, so we have this pattern, and then it just repeats over and over. So what is the horizontal length of that? It looks like it's 10. So you're finding how long is it before it starts to just repeat the same pattern. Okay, on the bottom there of the back page, there's a blank unit circle so you could practice. So we want the sine of -510. Now I'm going to add 360 to that, and then I'm going to add 360 again. These are called coterminal angles. So if they want the sine of negative 510, that's the same spot as the sine of positive 210. Alright, so on the unit circle, where is that? That's in quadrant 3. It's right around here. So what is the y coordinate right there? That looks like a short y distance. It looks like a long x but a short y. So that's 1/2 and it's down. So this is negative 1/2. Okay, I'm going to convert this to degrees. And the easy way for me is replace pi with 180. 180 divided by 3 is 60. 60 times 5 is 300. Alright, so I'm going to use the same circle that I just did. 300 is around here. So after 270, 30 degrees more. That looks like a short x, but a long y. And it's down, so that would be negative rad 3 over 2, because sine is the y coordinate. Okay, replacing pi with 180. 180 divided by 4 is 45. 45 times negative 3 is negative 135. You could leave it like that and just go backwards 135 degrees, which would be right here. Or you could add 360. So if you add 360 to that, what's 360 minus 135? That would be 225 degrees. So either way, you end up at this same spot. Anytime you're in the middle is rad 2 over 2. And in quadrant 3, the y is negative. So that's going to be negative radical 2 over 2. Alright, for number 10, if I don't want to make more than one lap around the circle, I can subtract 360. So we'll get that 135 is coterminal to 495. 135 is halfway between 90 and 180. The y coordinate there is rad 2 over 2, and it's positive. Alright, this is bigger than 2 pi, which means it's bigger than 360. So subtracting 360 is the same as subtracting 2 pi. So I'm going to take this number and subtract 8 pi over 4. So if we do that, we get 3 pi over 4. And converting that to degrees, pi is 180. 180 divided by 4 is 45. 45 times 3 is 135. Alright, so we've done this coordinate before. That's here, but this time we want the x. So the x there is going to be negative, and anytime you're in the middle, it's rad 2 over 2. Alright, one more. Okay, pi is 180. 180 divided by 2 is 90. 90 times 5 is, well, 90 times negative 5 is negative 450. Alright, if I add 360, I get negative 90. And I'll just use negative 90. So negative 90 is when you go clockwise, so you end up here. What is the x coordinate there? The x coordinate is 0. Alright, so we practiced some cosine and some sine problems. If you're given tangent in your homework, just remember that tangent is y divided by x. So it's like doing two problems in one. You have to find both coordinates and take y and divide by x. Okay, that's all for 12.6.